Hey guys, I think we're gonna do Zhongli's story quest. I haven't done this in so long, and I remember when the story quest came out. This was my first time being able to play Zhongli, and I thought he sucked. I didn't think he was that great. But boy, things changed. Things changed. All right, we go to Lu. Oh, before I do, um, got the map mostly unlocked. Still need to go Ochkanatlan over here. And obviously, you got to do the quest to get up. Oh, actually, you don't need to do the quest. You can get to the easy breezy, beautiful, easy breeze resort. Um, but I unlocked a good chunk, a small chunk, like maybe handful, just to kind of get around. Um, Still got to clear that out. And then there's over there, as I was saying before, my freaking phone just went off. Um, got a lot of this just so I can have places to kind of warp to. But I think because we're no longer in Natlan, we actually have to go through the entire story to get here. Because before you could just quick start, but there's no option of that now. Kachina is no longer a free character apparently, despite the fact that Calais is still free, and Xiangling is still free, and Lynette is still free. Each nation still has their free characters, so why isn't Kachina available anymore? So seems like you actually have to go through this whole fucking process of every single Archon quest until you get up to Natlan. So we're gonna go over to Le Harbor and yeah, take a little boat trip. The Wrath of Rock. My God. Please just talk to me. Fish. Crab. No. Matsutake. Nahida. No. Alright, cool. There should be a guy over here. A little ferryman. Like over... where are you, dude? I don't think it's him. Yeah, not him. So, I think it's him.
This is so dull.
Yeah. Be our guest. Be our guest. All right. Zhongli.
Oh? I didn't think I would see you here.
Are these two your friends?
Yes, we had the fortune of meeting not too long ago. They are quite a knowledgeable and talented pair, and a pleasure to be around. Traveler, we were just discussing the history of Rex Lapis. Would you like to listen?
This, good sir, seems not to appreciate the almighty power of the Lord of Geo. As a professional archaeologist, I'm inclined to correct some of his erroneous views. We are discussing the whereabouts of the first Mora.
The first Mora?
As everyone knows, the Lord of Geo taught the ancient people of Liyue the craft of smelting, creating goods that allowed them to develop trade with the early nations of that time. Today, Liyue holds the sole right to cast Mora in the entire continent of Teyvat. The world's very first Mora should have been cast by the hands of the Lord of Geo himself thousands of years ago.
So that's something people need to keep in mind, because people seem to think that Tevat is the entire world. It may be the world of Tevat, but I think the planet is just called Tevat. It's kind of like how back in the days of like World of Warcraft, Azeroth was like the name of one of the continents, but it was also the name of the planet. So Tevat is just, so that means we're only on a continent. There is so much to explore outside of that continent. So after we're done with, going to Snezhnaya and probably Conria, because we see the door to Conria in like Sumeru, and dealing with the heavenly principles, I think we'll be going to our next part of the journey is another continent. But yeah, people seem to think that like Tevat is just like what we see, like the map. That's the entirety of it. No, it's a continent. Like any other world, it's just a continent, and there's so much more yet to be explored. And I can't wait till we actually get to explore it, because it's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be huge. I mean, Hoyo said they've got the next
According to my
10 years
research, as
planned.
well as
So
my own hypothesis, I believe that this coin of unique historical significance has been passed down secretly through the years as a kind of token. For example, perhaps the Qixing who control the Liyue use it in some kind of unknown ceremony they hold when they come to power.
Oh, no. My research indicates that the first Mora coin is not such a simple thing. Mora is a catalyst. This we all know. Even today, Mora is used in the mystic arts for its curious properties of weapon enhancement.
not just weapon enhancements, but artifact enhancements. Basically, because it was created by a god, it contains magical properties that can be used to enhance. So while it looks, I mean, the in-game reason that you do it's like, well, because nothing's free. You got to pay money to upgrade this stuff. But the in-universes, it's because it's actually infusing the items with more power, because Mora was created by Morax, who is an Archon. So you're kind of enhancing it with divine energy. So why, the more you spend or the more you enhance, the more expensive it gets. It's because, once things become more powerful, you have to use a lot more power to get it to that next level. So when you see yourself trying to upgrade your artifacts or your weapon, and you see that it's up to like 80,000 Mora, just remember, it's not because of it's a cost. It's because that Mora, it's fusing its magical properties into that weapon. And when you want to make a weapon as strong as possible, it's going to take a lot of power to do so.
The world's first Mora would no doubt possess the strongest power. My next historical treatise will boldly expound on the newest findings from my intense decade-long research. That is, that the Lord of Geo used this original Mora as a catalyst to enhance a dagger and a sword.
A dagger and a sword?
Well, buy the book when it comes out to read the full story. For now, I will only reveal this. The one who finds the dagger shall become supreme in Liyue, and the one who finds the sword may be crowned Liyue's sovereign.
I can't say I agree. Let us not speak of the authenticity of the dagger and sword first. But Mora and money came about simply because they are a convenient measure of a contract's value. Rex Lapis just meant for Mora to serve as a catalyst for people to exchange and trade. The world's first Mora is probably just an ordinary coin created by Rex Lapis. As for its fate, the same as all Mora, I suspect. It was simply spent somewhere.
I think that Mr. Hanshua's hypothesis seems reasonable. Mr. Zhongli's argument, on the other hand, lacks any evidence. How can you so easily dismiss the Lord of Geo's profound foresight?
No, I am not debating right or wrong. I am simply stating a fact.
Enough. Do you think you understand the Lord of Geo more than me?
I know but little about history, and I wouldn't dare to brag. But discussion is meaningless if everyone has the same opinion, no?
Well then, answer me this. Long ago, when Liyue Harbor was being constructed, the Lord of Geo taught the people how to build houses. The model home he used to teach them was completely cast from Mora, correct?
That is correct, indeed.
Okay, then tell me. Why would the Lord of Geo do something so extravagant, if not because of the mystical power that Mora contains?
There's a simple explanation, really. To the god of wealth and commerce, what material is easier to get than Mora?
Oh.
I mean, I am talking about Rex Lapis.
Excuse me, sir. I have some questions about archaeology. Can we find somewhere quiet to chat? I mean, if it's okay with you.
Oh, it's no problem at all. But may my friend accompany us? Perhaps they could be of some help.
Of course. They can come if that's what pleases you, sir. Let's go.
All right. Sorry about that. My uncle's not doing so great right now. He's being moved into like a hospice sort of thing. So, um, my mom was just like, "Oh, it'll be the final update for now," and it's like, I already read my cousin's post on Facebook. I'm like, I already know. I already know, and I already commented, so you don't need to worry about, oh, you get in touch with her, and I already did.
What I'm about to say is a bit disrespectful of the Lord of Geo and would draw a lot of angry looks. So it's best to discuss this somewhere quiet. Your argument just now exhibited acuteness of speech and thought. Most importantly, you don't fall for the boasting and acting of the others. You remain objective. So I have a question for you. Perhaps you will answer differently from other scholars. Do you think that all the gods that the Geo Archon killed were evil?
Let's not analyze it in terms of good versus evil. Rex Lapis placed great importance on the integrity of contracts. So any gods he killed certainly must have broken some kind of contract.
Right! The Lord of Geo wouldn't kill the innocent.
But when I was doing some research, I learned about the legend of the god of salt. The god of salt, Havria, was a very kind god, but she encountered Morax one day in battle. Morax used a rather underhanded trick to assassinate her.
What? No way!
This bit of history is a long story. But you may not like the truth when you hear it.
Don't worry, please tell me what you know. This event, I've already searched for answers for a long time.
Quite so. I don't know where to begin.
Over here, Mr. Zhongli. I've been looking for you. So you're over here all this time.
Put down your weapon and stay back. Otherwise, Paimon's reporting you to the Millilith.
First of all, I'm not holding a weapon.
There's no need to overreact now. I'm simply an archaeological researcher from Snezhnaya. I'm not here for trouble.
The Fatui say that every time.
But this time, I registered with the Liyue Ministry of Civil Affairs. I could show you the official documentation if you want to see it.
Oh, official documentation. All that proves everything. You're totally 100% a completely legit guy, right? Because you have the proper paperwork. Come on, dude. You're not fooling anybody.
I will be conducting an archaeological survey here, the results of which will all be shared with the ministry. I heard that Wangsheng Funeral Parlor had a consultant named Zhongli with immense knowledge of ancient history and archaeology. So I paid Wangsheng Funeral Parlor a handsome amount to hire Zhongli as my own consultant while I'm in town.
So you mean to say that this is work for the Wangsheng Funeral Parlor, yes? Well, since it's work, I don't have a choice. A consultant of the Wangsheng Funeral Parlor must respect their duty.
Of course you would be such a reasonable man. Well then, let's head out now, shall we?
Wait, if you are studying archaeology, can I go too? I am also a scholar in this field, so I can help.
That will give us a chance to continue the topic we were just discussing. Oh, and you should tag along too. This experience may be of help to you on your future adventures. It is a story from before the rise of the Seven. Although the god of salt has already perished, it will still be a meaningful experience for your journey.
Wait. This is an archaeological expedition, not a tour group. That's too many people.
Do you not know who I am and how easily I could kill you right now? I'm the Traveler. You know, honorable knight of the Knights of Favonius, or honorary member of the Knights of Favonius. I'm one of the dudes who helped take down Osile, Overlord of the Vortex. Took down Dvalin, Storm Terror. So we also beat up your little friend Child. So you might want to cool it. You might want to take your attitude from up there and bring it down here.
But this friend of mine has a treasure-finding talent, surpassed by no one. It will surely be of great help to us.
Oh? What talent?
If my friend espies a treasure chest, they will absolutely find a way to open it.
Hey, Paimon's good at that too.
Well, that is quite enticing. All right, then. Well, let's go. There's no time to waste. When the Overlord of the Vortex was crushed by the Jade Chamber recently, perhaps something of interest was washed ashore. An ancient artifact would be good. Traces of ancient activity would be great. But a piece of the god's limb would be even better. Who knows what surprises we may find.
This is fine wine. Fine wine indeed.
Okay. Going to Stone Forest. Vortex Awake. Vortex's Wake. I haven't done this in so fucking long. Like, I don't even remember if I did it on my other account. And, my ability to find treasure, it's not that special. I mean, all I gotta do is just do this. It just points me in the direction of the treasure.
We'll need more where that came from.
Oh, let me get this over here, because I need this stuff. Yeah, I completely forgot about the god of salt. But if I remember, it's actually pretty, like, when we find out what happened, it's actually really sad. But, yeah, I remember playing this story quest when it first came out. Like 5 fucking years. God, like 5 years ago. And I was like, oh man, Zhongli kind of sucks. Of course, I was still really new and I don't think I really had a Geo character. I mean, apart from Noelle, and I don't really remember using her. But now, both my account, my main account, and my second account, I have Zhongli on the team at all times. Because being able to petrify things, the freaking shield he puts up, they basically become invaluable. Now, I mean, like, I still dodge because people were like, oh, well, once you have Zhongli, you forget how to dodge. No, I still dodge because I want that shield up as much as possible. If I get hit, I get hit. But I'm not going to just stand there and then take a whole brunt of an attack that's going to shatter the shield. You know, I just kind of move around. If I take hits, whatever. By the time the thing's on off cooldown, I can pop another shield. So, but I still dodge. I don't just stand there.
This place looks so ordinary. Can we really find anything valuable here?
Huh? Hyman thinks it looks really grand.
I don't mean the scenery, but rather that there should be something out of the ordinary. A big battle did just occur and all, and I don't even know where to begin looking here.
Guyan Stone Forest is actually the perfect place to be, if you wish to learn about the gods or the history of the Archon War. Legend has it that Rex Lapis threw spears made of large rock into the sea here, piercing and crushing the overlord of the vortex.
Yeah. So when we first find this out, it's during the Archon quest. This entire area, the stone forest, these are spears that Rex Lapis threw down at Osile. And from far away, I don't think you really truly appreciate just how impressive that is. But as you're running around, I mean, look at the size of them compared to where we are. And then once you get close to it, how massive this mountain is, this mountainous region is. Even the smallest little island, it's the rocks, the formation, they're enormous. And to think, to imagine Rex Lapis throwing down these fucking spears of rock that create this, that's insane. That guy, and there's a reason why he's the most powerful of the Archons. He's doing crazy shit like this. I mean, the other Archons Venti blew the Golden Apple Archipelago to where it is. The archipelago used to be a part of Mondstadt, but then he blew it into the ocean. The gorge in Inazuma that's all electrified. That was a casual swipe from the Raiden Shogun. So they've all done these tremendously impossible things. But to know this entire area was made by Rex Lapis after he threw these things into the water. And remember, Osile's underneath it. So these things are massive. Massive because they go deep underwater as well. It's insane how freaking powerful this guy is.
After many years of wind erosion, those stone spears have turned into the unique rock formations we see now.
These mountains were the Lord of Geo's weapons?
What we see now is just the part of them that remains. The stone spears hurled by Rex Lapis all those years ago were much greater, both in number and in size.
So Zhongli is confirming that he was throwing down spears of rock that like dwarf what we see now. Like, how was he doing it? Like with his meteor? Did he just stand there like this and they just came crashing down? Did he actually physically, as a dragon, like just hurl this shit? Because they're spears. So one would think. But the fact is, like, oh yeah, these these are nothing compared to the other he did in his prime. These are child's play compared to what he was doing.
But due to the different angles they landed at, their large centers of mass, erosion by seawater, and years of gravity, many of them have been completely swallowed by the sea. So besides wind erosion, the initial collapsing of the stone spears also played a big part in the formation of Guyan Stone Forest.
Well, a god able to fight one so powerful as Rex Lapis was certainly very strong in its own right.
Indeed. This is where the value lies in research at Guyan Stone Forest. Most of the objects from that time were lost to the sea. But the gigantic waves created by the Overlord of the Vortex have given those sunken objects a chance to see the light of day again.
So you're saying that if we look carefully, we'll be able to get very, very rich. I mean, rich with archaeological knowledge and historical value, yes? That's all I seek in life. Well, since we brought so many people, I think it would be best to split up and look.
Okay then. I will go with my friend.
Huh? Me?
What's the matter? This is your profession. Why are you so surprised?
I get it. I'll escort him then.
Okay. If we find anything valuable or rare, let's meet on the shore opposite from here.
All
The
right.
ancient god probably left behind lots of elemental marks. Following them should make our search much easier.
Well, go ahead then. Use your elemental sight to look for any marks.
All right, I will, but let me get this first. See? I'm a great treasure hunter. I'm a great treasure hunter.
Odd for animal hypostasis amulet.
Oh, burn, baby. That's right. Get back. Get back.
Why are there enemies here?
Guyan Stone Forest is a place where a god was defeated, and its remnants still affect the area to this day.
Up here? Yep, up there. Like, that's why these things are like the way they are. Because if you look, they're all, you know, it's not like a natural sort of thing. It looks like stuff that has been hurled, you know, and it's something that's, it's insane. Like these pillars were, like, look at that. That looks like like a tip of a spear or something. Or, you know, kind of the way they're like hexagonal type thing. They look like they've, you know, they were made to be thrown. Again, I don't know if it's like, oh yeah, he just kind of, you know, summoned them, or if it you know, like he does with his burst, or if it was like a legitimate him actually hurling them. But whatever the case is, I mean, Rex Lapis, there's a reason why he's most powerful of the Archons. Oh, never mind. They died. They died, it did.
Dodge this.
Absorption test.
Freeze.
We'll need more where that came from.
Also, I've got well over 8,000 primos, and we've still got 6 days. 6 days. There you go. Are you guys still following me? Okay, good.
They're gathering together here. But why?
Or
See
why,
that
child?
object in the center. Perhaps it emits the remnant strength of the god. That would certainly attract them. But the hydromimic monsters...
I remember this fight.
I have a contract, and must put my personal feelings aside. Go ahead. Defeat them, and recover the relic.
Wings of darkness, come, sever night from day.
Yeah, I remember this.
This moment will be frozen in...
I remember dying so many times on
It's
this.
just a stone
Hydro
sword,
Hunter.
but its design is quite unique.
Go ahead and...
Enough to garner some information. Let's head back.
Let's see... I really need food. I really need food. Like, really bad. Oh. Hey guys, don't mind me. Don't mind me. You guys keep making out or doing whatever the hell it is you're doing. Thank you.
You call yourself a scholar of archaeology? You can't even recognize this or that. What are you good for?
We all have our areas of expertise. I already tried very hard to explain.
Oh, stop arguing! What in the world happened?
This girl just keeps bragging about how she's an archaeologist, but she doesn't even know anything about the surrounding ruins. I even know more than her. She left me to rely solely on guessing, experience, to find anything valuable to take back. Ugh, what a waste of time.
I've just been researching the God of Salt, so I'm not familiar with sea relics. Is that so strange? And you kept asking about how much Mora everything is worth. Can the value of relics only be measured in Mora?
Isn't measuring their value in Mora the easiest way? This also matches the traditions of Liyue, does it not?
Now, calm down. No need to make a fuss. We were able to bring back some intriguing objects. Let's have a look. Oh, what a shame. These objects were indeed washed ashore by the Overlord of the Vortex, but they have nothing to do with the god besides being in the vicinity at the time. This stone slab we found, however, has a mysterious pattern and faint aura of divine power. Perhaps it will be useful for research purposes.
Quick, give it to me. At least we didn't come for nothing. The power of the gods, yes! This is good. Oh, but these other objects are certainly worth a little something, right? It should be enough to cover the cost of hiring you. It's all mine.
So, it's only valuable for research if there are remnants of divine power on it?
Not at all. My quest to uncover the history of the God of Salt is because history can tell us about culture and beliefs. But you're just trying to use archaeology to get rich.
Nonsense. I'm a professional archaeology researcher from Snezhnaya. I swear, if I'm lying, may the Lord of Geo strike me down.
Oh, you sure you want to go there, dude? No, you're trying to get rich off of archaeology. No, you're trying to collect the strength of the gods.
Oh, by the way, you probably don't want to sell that teacup.
Oh? Why's that?
That's not an ancient teacup. It's part of Ningguang's collection. It must have fallen here along with the Jade Chamber. So unless you want to mess with the cheesing...
Ah, I see. What a shame. It was of such high quality, too.
See? You do want to sell these objects!
But, so what? Why can't I pursue wealth both intellectual and material? Don't be so simple-minded. All right, then. No need to stay here any longer. I'm rather quite intrigued by the God of Salt, too, actually. Let's go to Saltarai next.
Yeah, this guy's a schmuck. He really is. Jeez, I barely did anything, but okay.
I heard that Salterai was once the home of the god of Salt's people. Therefore, there's sure to be loads of valuable relics nearby.
According to legend, the people of the god of Salt, Havria, enjoyed prosperous lives under her protection. But this legend has been around for ages. With the countless scrap collectors and treasure hoarders in the area, there probably aren't many valuable things left here.
Oh, good. That's just great. If I knew it was picked this clean before, I wouldn't have come.
About that, I know there's a ruin deep in this cave here. It's related to the god of Salt, which is actually how the area originally got its name of Salterai. However, the ruin entrance has been sealed by a mysterious power. Nobody has been able to break the seal. I found a mechanism that seemed to be related to the seal, but when I undid the mechanism, the seal wasn't affected at all. So at the moment, the seal's origin and how to break it are very important topics in my research on the god of Salt. I don't know, there's no concrete evidence, but I'm pretty sure the seal is meant to hide some kind of long-forgotten truth. The god of Salt was a benevolent god, adored by the people, not to mention powerful. She wouldn't have any kind of shameful secrets to hide. So, the one who wants to hide some truth is very possibly her killer, Morax.
This doesn't sound like something the Lord of Geo would do, though.
Who cares about all that? It sounds like countless treasures of the god of Salt lie within this ruin, just waiting for someone to find them, right?
You know, for a person who's like, it's not about the money to me, you're sure talking about treasure and stuff a lot. Just saying.
You weren't listening at all, were you? Even if there's a mountain of treasures inside, nobody can get in if the seal isn't broken.
Ah, but we have the illustrious Mr. Zhongli with us. He looks like he knows just about everything. A little seal shouldn't be any trouble for him.
This seal seems to be quite ancient. Even Mr. Zhongli may not know all of its secrets.
I may know something about it.
What?
Over the years, I've heard various rumors with bits of knowledge about seals. Although their references seem rather disorderly, they do in fact contain the secret to breaking seals. Let's go take a look at the mechanism Miss Wanyan just mentioned.
Okay, since Mr. Zhongli says so, follow me then.
They're like, oh, Zhongli probably doesn't know anything about it. He's like, oh, as a matter of fact. Actually.
Here it is. There's some debris scattered here that, when put together, look like they definitely had to do with the god of Salt. See that? Although we activated the mechanism, nothing happened to the seal.
That's because there's actually another mechanism that must be activated.
Another?
Let me...
Another one.
This place seems familiar. Huh, I remember. I think there's some elemental monuments here. So you're saying they're related to all this? When I investigated the seal last time, I had someone with a vision accompany me. But when we lit up all the elemental monuments, nothing happened.
That's because you don't just need to activate them at the same time, but in a certain order as well. Otherwise, the seal will not be broken. The secret to this puzzle is hidden in the legends about the Archon War. Tianheng in the south, Yaoguang in the east, Jueyun in the west, Qingce in the north. All desolate and devoid of life. Liyue is vast, yet even one haven is hard to find.
To the north, to the east. Do the people of Liyue always talk in riddles?
I think I've heard this saying before.
Certainly you have. And the contents of this saying are also related to the god of Salt. To provide a haven for her people, whose lives had been ravaged by the Archon War, this benevolent god searched all across Liyue. At that time, with the chaotic fires of war engulfing the land, even one sliver of peace was a luxury. And that haven she eventually found is right here. Today, it is known as Sal Turai.
How sad then. In the end, this peaceful place was destroyed by Morax.
Okay, enough with these ancient stories. Now that we have the clue, hurry up and break the seal. Whatever happened doesn't matter as long as we can get inside that ruin.
Tianheng in the south, Yaoguang in the east, Jueyun in the west, Jingse in the north. With this clue, you should be able to solve the puzzle.
Gonna take out the hilly turtles first, because I don't feel like having them fucking bother me. No.
Oz, reveal thyself.
Come on.
No rest for the wicked.
Blue. 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 That all? Sure, there's nothing else that'll pop out. Alright. Alright, south. Was like south, north. North, east, and west. And west.
Tianheng in the south, Yaoguang
Southeast.
in the east,
Southeast,
Jueyun
west,
in the
north.
west, Jingse in the north. The
Alright,
directions
southeast,
are-
west, north.
Give it another try.
South. East. Oh, come on. West. There we go.
Look! The seal really was broken! Mr. Zhongli is indeed quite remarkable.
Oh my god, if we weren't here right now, I'd jerk him off.
Now, it's time that people learn the hidden truth lost to time.
I would have whipped out Mona for this, but I really don't feel like it. Mona would be great for this, since he could just turn into the water and just whoop right across.
Before entering the ruin, I have a proposal that will help us prevent the kind of senseless arguing between you two that we saw at Guyonstone Forest.
Okay. What is it?
I propose you two agree upon a contract, stipulating that we alternate who gets claim to each treasure we encounter, with only one object permitted per claim. To show my sincerity, I won't be taking any treasure. This will just be between you all.
Hey! Don't pass an opportunity like this up so easily!
I don't agree. I mean, you want me to split the treasure with this amateur archaeologist? No, absolutely not.
I don't agree either. He will only defile the precious relics left behind by the god of salt. I can't accept this.
Well then, if the contract is not agreed upon, I will no longer serve as your consultant on this expedition. You will have to rely on your own experience to find whatever treasures are hidden in this ruin, as well as traps.
You have the audacity to demand this. Okay then. Even half of the treasure in the long-sealed ruin of the God of Salt should be enough to make a fortune.
If you want me to agree upon this contract, So be it. I just have one request, Mr. Zhongli. If we discover the truth behind the god of salt, you must judge it fairly, even if the truth harms Morax's image.
I can accept this arrangement. Well then, let's go.
He can accept it because he knows the truth. Yeah. Yeah, I was like, I gotta make sure, because I remember there being chests and all that down here. And I think that was the only one there. God, I haven't done this in ages. Dr. Lucas Jade. I really need to level everyone. You know, level 70 was great for a little while, but now it's just taking me longer to kill things.
By royal decree.
I mean, most of the time it's because of Mora. It's just like, it's hard to level everything up. This core lapis. There's like a chest around here. So I should get the core lapis while here. Maybe it's the other side. I'm pretty sure it's like right behind here or something. Pretty sure there was a chest around here. Is there a chest somewhere, like around here? Sure there was. All right, we don't have to worry about Geo because we get Zhongli. So our team should be just fine. Should be fine. The Wrath of Rock.
Are these statues?
No.
They appear to be made of
These are
salt.
people.
Ugh.
Ugh.
They were probably followers of the god of salt.
How did they become this way?
What in the world is hidden deep in this room?
Reveal.
Nope.
Look at this! It's filled halfway with salt.
Oh, it just looks like a fancy salt holder. Seems like the god of salt was a god lacking in treasures.
According to my knowledge, it's no ordinary vessel. Although it is only half full, it is also forever half full. That is to say, it is bottomless.
What? You're saying that even if I pour the salt out, the amount inside won't change?
Exactly.
Able to produce endless salt. The god of salt is powerful indeed.
Finally, after all that effort, I've found precious treasure. I claim this as mine. I just need to pour the endless salt into 1,000 or 10,000 bags. I can sell it and make a fortune.
Hey, how can you use a relic of the god of salt for such a shallow pursuit?
If Mr. Clement wants this salt chalice, Then the next object we find will belong to Miss Wanyan, according to the contract agreed upon.
Of course, as we agreed. But how can anything be worth more than this rare find?
Since we have a contract, it's no use for me to fight with him.
Then let's move on, shall we?
So you can see clearly something bad happened. Everyone's kind of praying and looking like they're... No, he was transfixed in an earnest posture. No, perhaps he was also afraid.
Solidify!
By royal decree! Animo test 6308. Yeah.
Come on.
Stabilize.
No, you didn't want to blow off? Bye-bye. So long. So long.
Just a simple ruler. Doesn't look to be worth anything.
This, if I remember correctly, this is some kind of measuring tool.
Indeed. But the god of salt imbued it with another power. When you stick this ruler in the ground, the surrounding area will become covered in salt, much like a rising tide covers the earth. The deeper it is stuck in the ground, the more salt will appear. It is essentially a bumper harvest of salt.
What? That's even better than the salt chalice!
Well then, according to our contract, the salt ruler goes to Miss Wanyan.
No, unacceptable. I paid for and organized this entire expedition. Why should I get the short end of the stick? And this girl has been useless. Why would she get anything?
Oh boy. Here we go again.
I mean, the chalice sounds better. You don't have to stick the chalice in the ground, or you pour. It just keep pouring. It doesn't stop. So, while we're on the topic of useless people.
So you are saying you want to break the contract?
So what if I break it? Now that I've seen how the mechanisms in this ruin work, I no longer need you. Let's not forget who hired who here. Why should I let you make the rules?
Because you agreed to a contract. Rex Lapis once said, "Ones who break their contracts shall suffer the wrath of the rock."
That is one of your Liyue gods. I am from Snezhnaya. I
will suffer the wrath of the rock. You may find it rather unpleasant.
Pay your dues. Solidify.
I will have order.
Odds revealed.
Ha! Ha! Ha!
Verdict is...
I shall confiscate your treasure as well. You are not worthy to continue any further into the ruin. Leave this place.
Oh, darn you! Just you wait.
Some archaeological survey. He could only pretend for so long. Yeah! Good thing Paimon can smell a liar from a mile away.
Clement's wrongdoing stemmed from greed, yes. But besides greed, there are many other things that may tempt us to break contracts. When people see the object of their dreams, How many are really able to control their desire and follow the contract? I think we should be honest with each other now.
Huh? Be honest about what?
That in truth, not a single member of this archaeological expedition came here for archaeology.
Why do you say that?
Miss, you lack even the most basic archaeological knowledge, and can recognize naught but a few simple relics. However, you are an expert when it comes to anything regarding the god of salt. You aren't interested in archaeology or relics. What you're really interested in is the god of salt. I believe those legends about the god of salt that you mentioned on the Pearl Galley are passed down between generations at Yinyuan Hall.
Okay, that's enough. Sir, you are indeed a man of great knowledge and talents. I seem to have been right to seek you out once I plucked up my courage. You're right. I'm not a scholar of archaeology. I come from one of the 8 trades under the jurisdiction of the Qixing, Yinyuan Hall of the salt industry. Our ancestors were those protected by the god of salt all those years ago, when the Archon War engulfed the land in chaos.
Oh, right! Now that you mention it, the people of Liyue very seldom use the name Morax.
During the war, Morax assassinated our god out of envy for her power. He left us alone and lost in the world. We hate him! But this is Morax's Liyue after all. And its history is written as he wishes. So I seek proof of Morax's guilt. He has blood on his hands and cruelty in his heart. We agreed to a contract that we will face the truth head on, didn't we, Mr. Zhongli? You must judge this history fairly.
Naturally, of course. But I must add, Liyue is no longer Morax's Liyue. Come with me. All the answers you seek lie ahead.
Rex Lapis was just jealous of the god of salt's power. Yes, the power to make salt. I'm sorry, but being able to hurl spears of, like, basically mountain-sized spears into the ground, be able to summon meteors from the sky, be able to make Mora, pretty sure that's a lot cooler than making some salt. So, sorry, girly, but yeah, that's it. No.
Stand clear.
No.
Gather!
Will suffer the wrath of the rock. Uh-huh.
Animal hypostasis emulation.
It's so simple.
Solidify!
I just sent him flying back.
This is order.
Uh-huh.
Don't get frostbite.
Midnight Phantasmagoria.
Stabilize!
So what's this Zhongli rocking?
I'll have this wine taste.
Okay, he's rocking a 4-piece. 4-piece Nobilis. Dominius Lapidus. Okay. Huh.
Order guide you.
Order guide you. That's so great.
This is a sword? Aha! It's a broken sword. This is proof. This proves that the god of salt had to fight back. Fight back against the evil Morax. But sadly, she was defeated. The power of this sword surely is much greater than that of the Salt Chalice and Salt Ruler. If we can repair the sword, then we can show the world the mighty power of the god of salt.
It does look like something left behind after being defeated in battle.
2 pieces of a broken sword. From an archaeological perspective, these are 2 separate relics. According to the contract, you can only claim one.
Why? We were alternating claims to treasure, true. But Clement is no longer here.
Yes, but the only one object per claim clause still holds true. You cannot take 2 relics at the same time.
This logic!
Zhongli, she seems like a good person, and no one is fighting over the treasure. How about you let this one slide, huh?
He's like, are you saying you want to break your contract? He's like, very well, then you will suffer the wrath of the rock.
When there's a contract, nothing can be allowed to slide. If the contract is not followed, then it is broken.
No! If I only take 1/2, then it can't be repaired, and the power of the god of salt cannot be restored. No matter what, I must be faithful to her. Even if it breaks the contract, I don't care.
So you are already decided? Then there is a price to pay for breaking the contract.
Zhongli!
That is to say, you consign yourself to suffer the wrath of the rock.
That's okay. The god of salt gave up her life to protect her people. My sacrifice is nothing compared to that. Punish me however you want. Just let me take this proof of my faith.
No, you can't hit her!
Perhaps that punishment would be easier for her. But as punishment, I will tell you the truth.
Huh? The truth? You mean the truth is my punishment?
Yes. The truth that I am about to tell you shall be your price to pay for breaking the contract. I'm afraid to say that the god of salt, Havria, was not the powerful god you imagine her to be. Rather, she was a small and weak god who yielded to all other gods. When it came to war, she lost, never able to win a seat among the 7.
What?
During the Archon War, the gods of this world used all their strength and cunning to vie for control of Tevat. But Havria instead chose to flee. She thought that by giving up before a fight could start, she could save herself and her people from the war. However, during such a long war, there is no end to the advances of aggressors. After making countless concessions, Havria lost all of her lands, until only one small haven remained.
No. No! It can't be so.
In her last days, she had not even a single blade to defend her people with.
Not even a single blade? Then...
This sword is not a relic belonging to the god of salt, but is instead the murder weapon used to kill her.
Murder weapon? No! That's not true! That can't be true! You're trying to test my faith in the god of salt!
As I said before, I only state the facts.
Preposterous! You are a follower of Morax! Don't try to trick me!
Hey! Come back!
Indeed. Otherwise, why would I use the truth as punishment? I did not want to tell her such cruel facts. But the contract was broken. Let's follow her deeper into the ruin. There, I fear, we will find something that will leave her no choice but to face the truth.
Yeah, so we're gonna see the truth of all this about why.
Are these statue thingies running?
Uh-huh.
What will we find ahead?
Yeah, this.
Salt and betrayal.
He seems to have been fleeing from something, no doubt suspecting that something terrible was afoot. You ready to suffer the wrath of the rock? Hang on, let me make sure there's no treasures around here. Yeah. Right.
What are all these? What did they see? What did they do? What happened?
Since you do not trust me, let us continue onward. That which lies beyond this door will show you all that happened back then. This is the scene of the crime. Havria's body dissipated, leaving nothing but these traces of salt. Her dying moments have since been frozen in time to this very day. The story continues that some among her people realized at last that this gentle, kind, but weak god could never protect anyone in wartime. The Archon War was cruel in the extreme. Instead of consigning her to the agony of defeat, they thought perhaps it would be better to give her a quick release.
What about these statue thingies?
No matter how weak the god, the power that flows forth when they are slain is beyond the strength of mortal coils to bear. Those who could not flee were thus transformed. Those of her people who were untouched by this disaster left for Liyue, where they sought refuge with Rex Lapis. Their descendants feared Havria's remnants and lived in terror that she had laid upon them an eternal curse. So they risked their lives to come here, to break the sword and offer up obeisances in hopes that her anger might be appeased. But they need not have done so. For how could a god who had never once resisted, even till the end, nurse hatred for her people in her heart?
Even if this is so, I can't. This must be a lie. A false history, all of it. Don't you dare try to shake my faith.
Yikes. Zhongli didn't show any mercy this time either.
This is the price she must pay. Yet I would not call it a bad thing.
So in the end, the people, you know, you have someone like Nahida who was imprisoned by the people she was supposed to, you know, rule over. The people here didn't just imprison. No, they killed the god who looked after them because they saw how, I mean, she's a god, so she's not weak in a sense of strength. She just didn't want to fight. So she was weak because she didn't participate in the Archon War. So rather than having a, you know, a god who was like that, you know, they thought it was better for her to just kind of release her. You know, when a god dies, like he said, it's different. It's, you know, basically when she died, you could see how it kind of like a wave, and anyone who was pretty much caught in that was turned to salt into these statues. But gods like Zhongli, and once they die, they can kind of choose to reincarnate if they wish to. So if Zhongli was ever, he's still a god. He may not be the Archon, you could say, but he's still a god. So, you know, while he lives his mortal life, he's still immortal essentially. But if he does die, you know, giving up his gnosis, the only thing that does is kind of takes away his connection to Celestia. He's not going to be as strong, but quite frankly, he doesn't need it. He was already strong beforehand, because I think he might actually be the Geo dragon, you know, the dragon sovereign of Geo. But you know, so he could choose, and for Havria, she's still a god. So who knows? She could have reincarnated at this point. You know, there's a lot of weird gods. You got the stove god, you know, and we see remnants of him in the form of Guoba, who used to be a lot bigger, but then they kind of broke apart and taught people how to cook and stuff like that. But the god of, you know, the stove god used to be a lot bigger. But now you have Guoba, who's small, still has that passion for cooking. It's just not as powerful anymore. But the fact that her people turned on her, I mean, that's, imagine being a god and then the people you're trying to, in this case, it's really not trying to protect. Because during the Archon War, you know, these are battles going on, and instead of joining and protecting her people from all this, she just kind of came down here and hid. You know, and they were like, well, what good is this god then? She's not protecting us. If she doesn't, you know, she doesn't go out and fight, then what happens to us? And because she's basically living in fear, it's like, well, they saw it as doing her a kindness, you know, releasing her from that you know, earthly, you know, coil, and they killed her. They assassinated their god.
Judging by how she appeared, I fear that she will struggle for a time. But even if she may not escape that struggle immediately, simply recognizing the truth is good enough for now. Indeed, in ages past, Havria's story served as a warning to me as well. Faith in a god who has already passed will do you no good. So it is for Havria. And so it is for Morax also. All right then. Now, would you like to accompany me in taking a trip to Guyonstone Forest?
Huh? What do you want to do, Zhongli?
Treading old ground, telling old stories. One cannot help but be reminded of old acquaintances.
All right. But yeah, like I said, it's a, you know, when you finally get to this part and you see what happens. So she was right here, and her body, like all this, she just kind of exploded, like in divine energy essentially, and it kind of like crystallized and became salt, and just anyone in this vicinity that was close, like pretty much everyone in here, that's how strong a god is. That, you know, when we first started, we were all the way in the back, and there were still people like this. You know, you have these all over the place. It shows the power that this god actually had. You know, she wasn't weak in a traditional sense of not being able to fight. She could fight, she just chose not to. And that's what made her weak. I mean, you even had Venti fighting in this Archon War. Because remember that Venti is the original Animal Archon. There's of all the all the Archons, Zhongli is the original Geo. Venti is the original Animo god. Everyone else, they've had people before them. Like look at Natlan.
In a while.
But you know, so even Venti, as kind and loving as he is, even he participated in the Archon War. You know? So the fact is, she could have done something, but she chose not to. And because of that, her people turned on her and assassinated her. I mean, it's really sad when, you know, her final moments being turned on by her people. All because they're like, well, this god isn't protecting us. But, you know, for the Archon War, it was a survival of the fittest, really. You know, all these gods were fighting against each other to, you know, kind of claim the throne of Archon. You know, the title of Archon. And, you know, we saw who ended up winning. Like I said, Venti is one of the originals. So is Zhongli. What am I doing? Just go up here. But for, like, the Saritsa, I believe there was a Cryo Archon before her. We know for a fact, obviously, with Nahida, you had Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. Before the Raiden Shogun, it was her sister, Makoto, who was the original Raiden Shogun, or the Electro Archon, rather. But yeah, just imagine being a god and the people who you're supposed to protect end up assassinating you. You know, which is way worse than what happened with, like, Nahida. I mean, you had the academia, like, oh, well, she's not as smart as Greater Lord Rukkhadevata, so let's just imprison her, take her gnosis, and then use it for ourselves. You know, but in this case, no, the god was killed by her own people. Not imprisoned, not sent to another plane of existence like, you know, A's plane of euthymia. No, she was outright killed. Also, I think when we first did this quest, Dragon Spine wasn't even a thing. Ah, that's so weird. That was just like a 2D, you know, image. Now it's a full 3D model and climate, and that's so crazy.
Now, I mentioned before that many gods of old have been sealed beneath the Guyan Stone Forest. The Adepti have presently handed Liyue over to mortals, and Havria's time was even further in the past. The Salt Chalice and Salt Ruler that she left behind should not return to Liyue. To leave them here is to let them slumber. And it is also a homecoming. I ended an era with my own two hands. I've always wondered how I should remember that which I ended. History records, but history may be changed. This incident proved that. Time is a mighty force, and history's twist in its flow. I need to find a better way of recording history in order to engrave its truth. Stone carvings were one such ancient method, but unchanging stone, immovable earth, even one such as myself. Someday we may all disappear.
Zhongli.
Therefore, I thought of you, traveler. You are one who crosses the celestial atlas, and who passes through countless worlds. If our history is engraved in your memory, it will one day accompany you into another world. As long as a traveler like you is able to record what happened, then a backup of sorts will exist for times and tides of Tevat.
Sounds like tough work.
Now then, it is time that we consigned both the Salt Chalice and Salt Ruler to the sea.
Why do we need to throw them into the sea?
As I said before, this is the place to which the remnants of many bygone gods are consigned. This includes Osial, Overlord of the Vortex, who the Jade Chamber most recently returned to this ocean prison. Thousands of years ago, the Adepti and I fought against the turmoil that plagued every corner of this land. Guyan Stone Forest, where I sealed many gods with my spears. After so long, naught but folktales remain. Osial, you and I were foes, but our ancient grudge is but a bygone memory now. May that which Havria has left behind be yours to subsume. And thus another spark of divinity departs from Liyue. My legacy shall now be left to those who come after to debate.
I love this man so fucking much. I really do. My God, no. Go to the book. Book, please. Okay, so we still have to hand those in.
I will remain here for a while. I fear that moments of reminiscence like this can only grow fewer. We did not measure right and wrong during the days of the Archon War in the same manner as we do today. Of course, as I am now, I only wish that she could have lived in a gentler time. I will remain here for a while. I fear that moments of reminiscence like this can only grow fewer. Though the Salt Chalice and Salt Ruler do have power in their own right, they are nothing before Osial. If a day comes when he should recover his strength and return, I believe that even so, he will be defeated once more. I will remain here for a while. That is a good question. In the past, I might have given you a most specific answer. But now... Yes. I suppose I will continue in my role as a consultant at Wangsheng Funeral Parlor. But if this journey was to your liking, why don't you come along the next time I am seeking to preserve memories of Liyue's past?
He's so cool. He's so cool. And, you know, it's like he brings up a good point of, like, you know, how he would have liked to see, you know, Havria living in more peaceful times. Like, right now. Like, if her people hadn't fucking killed her, and she did manage to survive the Archon War through just hiding, what would she be doing now? You know, what would she be doing? How would she be? Would she still be revered? Or would she be seen as more like Nahida? Like, oh, she's nothing that great. There's no reason to you know, pay her any mind. And then, but just the fact that her people were so desperate that they ended up murdering her because she chose to stay out of the Archon War, and you know that kind of threatened the livelihoods and outright lives of her people. I mean, and there's nothing wrong with not fighting, but you have this massive battle between gods going on. You know, again, even Venti was a part of it. Venti. I mean, he was a little different back then. He really, if you like read the manga and everything, with him and Vanessa, he definitely was a little different than what he is now. Vanessa was like 1,000 years ago. That was the War of Mondstadt trying to get the Lawrence clan out, with Vanessa and the rising up of the people, because the Lawrence clan had to go. They were fucking slaves and fucking racists, and or not slaves but slave owners, and so a rebellion was made, and after they drove out the Lawrence clan, she became the first acting, not acting, but the first Grandmaster of the Knights of Avonius. But Venti was much different. But even him, he's always been a sweet person, but even he took part of the Archon War. Same thing with like Rukkhadevata. Her and Nikita are basically one and the same. And even Rukkhadevata took part in it. So to say that, she was, Havriel was weak, and again, we saw what happened when she died. The divine energy that was released after she died throughout the entire area. The entire area is just salt pillars and people who were turned to salt, like salt statues. So, I mean, I would have, she had the ability to create something where, you stick the salt ruler in, and like everything, the ground just becomes salt. She had the power to create infinite salt in the chalice. You just pour and pour and pour, and it doesn't drain. It just keeps coming out. So she was clearly formidable in power, being able to create such divine, objects. But she went by that whole, thought she could live to fight another day, and apparently, unfortunately for her, she didn't live to fight another day. Her people killed her. But like I said in the beginning, I told you it was sad. But
I didn't know you were such a
I guess that's just Archon or divine politics. If your people don't see you as being that ruler, it's kind of like what we see with Farina. When she first becomes the Archon and she introduces herself to everyone, she's very like, oh yay, I can't wait to talk with all of you, and if you have any suggestions, let me know. And everyone's like, this is the Archon? She's not presenting herself like an Archon. Like, we're not even gonna fucking listen to her. Only after she started doing the over the top theatrics did people start taking her seriously. So had she continued with the, oh well, if you guys have some suggestions, let me know, and I can't wait to make Fontaine better with you guys, and they're like, that's not how an Archon is. It's not. But she could have at least attempted. I get that she didn't want to die. Okay. Archon War was terrible. Countless gods fighting, dying, and in the end we saw who won, because they became the Archons. So you have all these gods, these colossal battles going on, and we see who won. Venti, Zhongli, who again may or may not be the Geo Dragon. It's not Ashtaha. He's not the Geo Dragon. People thought he was, but he's not. He's a dragon of Geo. He's not the Geo Dragon Sovereign. But this man, who has two separate constellations, kind of like a certain Hydro Dragon, Monsieur Nouvelette. Nouvelette, same thing. He's got two different constellations. So he's 6,000 years old. So is Nouvelette, or at least, the Hydro Dragon. But so you know, he might have made a contract with the Heavenly Principles. At least that's what people think. But yeah, the Archon War was terrible. You know, you have all these, and then of course there's casualties because these gods are flexing their divine might, and obviously there's going to be mortal casualties. You know, so she could have protected her people still. You know, fought just to protect her people, even if she died. Even if she died, she'd be remembered today and still revered today for fighting selflessly and fighting to protect her people, even though she didn't want to fight. But, you know,
I hear the voice of fate.
I hear voices in my head. But she thought it was best to just run and live to fight another day. Her people didn't have it. They weren't having it. But I think, yeah, there was a Cryo Archon before.
Thank you for
So, yeah, Zhongli is the original. So is Venti. Makoto was the original Raiden Shogun. Xbalanque was the first Pyro Archon of Natlan. You had Egeria, who was the original Hydro Archon. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure the Saritsa is not the original. Hang on. When in doubt. All right, so I had to look it up and said, yes, there was a Cryo Archon before the Saritsa, known as the Betty Sar, a male figure who led the Snowland Fae and ruled the northern lands, eventually dying during a conflict that led to the Saritsa taking his place as the current Cryo Archon after the Cataclysm. What's this? Oh, Dawit, dead lover. So yeah, you know, even if she had died, you know, it's so many people died, you know, and only Venti and Zhongli have managed to survive that long, to kind of come out on top to claim the title as Archon and then keep that role. I mean, they're peaceful people. Look at Zhongli. Look how peaceful he is. Like, he has no problem stepping into that divine role, stepping into that that role of Morax or Rex Lapis, the warrior. Same thing with Venti. Like, look at Venti. The dude's a fucking drunkard half the time. You know, could you imagine him fighting an Archon war? No, but he did. Hence how he became an Archon in the first place. So, like, again, she could have fought. She could have fought. You know, would she have died? Maybe. But being able to turn things to salt and whatever other power she had sounds pretty cool. I mean, it kind of sounds like almost like her body would have been kind of like indestructible at some point. You know, kind of like a Sandman sort of thing. Instead of, I mean, salt is pretty much sand, you know, sand is a lot of salt. So I'd see like a Sandman kind of thing where she could maybe make constructs out of, you know, salt or anything having to do with salt. Kind of like salt, like earth bending, but like with salt. And also maybe same thing, morph her body. You know, she gets punched, it can right through her because, you know, she can open her. But I would have loved to see what this god of salt could have done, but instead they went the coward's way and thus was murdered by their people. But anyway, yeah, I that quest is a lot better than I remember it. I remember back in the day when I first started, I didn't care too much for the lore. And I just didn't think Zhongli was very good either. But that quest was definitely a lot better than I remember it. and I'll probably be doing the other part fairly soon. Actually, I might not even upload this one right now. I'll probably just continue on and just do the next one in a separate video. But yeah, the Wrath of the Rock. Anyway, that's gonna do it for me. You guys know the drill. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.